Oh my god, you'll never guess what happened to me last night.
What?
Well, my mum went off at me for putting like a glass bottle full of water in the freezer.
Duh, this is why. This is a representation of liquid particles in a bottle. The particles are represented by the yellow counters. Particles in liquids are quite close to each other, however, they can move past each other very easily. This makes liquids very easy to break apart and why they cannot hold their own shape, but instead take the shape of their container. The particles in liquids move around quite a bit, bumping gently past each other.
When frozen, water begins to expand. As it becomes down to freezing point, 0 degrees Celsius, it has decreased in density and increased in volume. If the bottle is completely filled with no airspace, this expansion of the liquid produces a tremendous hydraulic pressure within the bottle which cannot withstand its force, acting on the internal area of the glass, thus causing the glass to shatter. When water freezes, it freezes from top to bottom. The molecules of the water line up in a way that makes them take up more space, so the ice expands and the pressure it exerts against the glass container is often more than enough to break the glass.
The solid particles are represented with the blue counters. This is not an accurate representation because in reality the particles will be much closer to each other with no gaps. Particles in solids are held together very closely. This makes them very strong and difficult to break apart. Solids can also hold their own shape. The particles don't move around very much, but simply vibrate in their spot.
Oh, it all makes so much more sense now.
Bye! The solid particles are represented with the blue counters. This is not an accurate representation because in reality the particles would be much closer together without gaps. Particles in solids are held together very closely. This makes them very strong and difficult to break apart. Solids can also hold their own shape. The particles don't